So today we're going to talk about B2B content promotion, 33 examples that you should keep in mind for 2023, which will inspire you with what is possible as far as growing traffic to your website from your existing or new content. And we're going to show you how to do it in a no spammy way. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be uncommon, but it should be tactical. Like, okay, email marketing, but what about it? How do you do it? Okay, once a week, if you're publishing once a week, you send an email once a week. How might that email be structured? Okay, you just throw the article in there. In our case, email marketing works really well. We won't write like a fresh email, but we'll make our introduction to the article do, double duty. It will be both the intro to the article, but also the newsletter itself, and then there's a call to action saying continue reading on our website. So that's what I mean by tactical. What makes people influencers, people with a following, promote you to their audience? Like, what is the wedge? That is the tactic that we're looking for. What are the wedges or wedge? One tactic could be, we wrote this great article in the past, got a ton of traffic, still gets traffic today. I believe it is titled something like, best top 3 marketing tools. Experts share their top 3 marketing tools. And we were using Brian Dean's sort of famous strategy of the skyscraper technique. We just made a very long but high value detailed article, and we had promotion kind of built into the DNA of the article itself in the way that it was best marketing tools, or whatever the topic was. We were getting expert recommendations from it, meaning that people who wanted a link back to their website because it built their reputation and their traffic and their visibility. So then when we went to hit publish, we just reached out to everyone who contributed and say, hey, it's live. If you want to share it, great, go ahead. And it's a win for them too. So they're very motivated to share it. And that's another powerful tactic. For social media promotion, how do you do it? This is one area where I've been very skeptical for a while. The team has been telling me, over the past and recent months, like, Matt, we got to do more on social media. I just never really bought into it because, one, I'm wary of building on top of a platform where one of our first clients, they spent $1 million. They were a startup back then and they're worth over $100 million today. They're one of these fitness athlete racing companies. But they were a client of ours when they were actually early on starting out. And they spent $1 million, the founder did, to get 1 million fans. They were competing with this other brand called Tough Mudder. They wanted to get 1 million fans likes on Facebook. But then as a result, a little bit of a bait and switch on Facebook's part, because organic reach just dropped off a cliff in the following years. And, you didn't really own that audience. Facebook owned that audience. So seeing examples like that have always made me very wary of, investing a lot in social media. But it's at the point now where I just have to look at it objectively, not just be like, okay, email and SEO and that's it. But tactically speaking, there are a lot of companies and a lot of brands that are doing exceptionally well as far as lead generation, traffic generation, which turns into leads and sales from social media. And it is a combination of paid plus organic on social media.
The idea would be to turn it into organic traffic. So like you said, so that Facebook doesn't own your audience and can turn it off with a flick of a switch, right?
Webinars and podcasts. Well, that kind of brings up repurposing. And this is a beautiful idea. I love this. It's something we are on the cusp of really investing heavily in now. So for example, you can take an existing webinar, and that's a piece of content that you published on your blog or your YouTube channel, whatever. You can take the slides from that and you can then publish that on SlideShare or LinkedIn, and people can get value just from the slides alone. Or you can have the video transcribed into an article, so people who want to read it, and you would want to clean it up, edit it, rewrite it a bit, something Autorow can probably help you with. And and then you're getting more juice out of the existing fruit, or what's the right analogy, Graham?
Yeah, because not everybody has the same mediums, right? Some people like YouTube, some people like articles, some people like Twitter, some people like whatever. and you can put it all on whatever, like meet them where they are, right?
Yeah. And another great example of this, tactically speaking, for content promotion, you can take just clips. I mean, there's a bunch of examples of this, but Joe Rogan, pretty famous, I think the most famous podcaster out there right now. There's a whole channel with millions of followers on it on YouTube where it's Joe Rogan clips. It's just clips from his interviews, completely separate, but a lot of people would not have seen those interviews or become, familiar with his brand or his content. They weren't like clipped out in that sort of like a 5 to 10 minute format. And then for the YouTube shorts, those are a bit like TikTok videos. I've seen a lot of marketers use this. I watched one actually from Neil Patel, and I watched a few others from some AI software developers just the other day. And they put them out there. They're small, they're bite-sized. They're like usually 30 to 60 seconds, and they're interesting. They're just like one little bite of the cookie, one little tidbit. And you can record them separately, but a lot of people will just take clips, again, from another interview or another podcast and, article, interview, webinar, whatever, and just, you don't have to necessarily make new content. You just have to put it into a different package.
Techniques to get out of the spam zone.
Yeah, just doing the opposite of what the hype is right now, which is AI and ChatGPT, handcrafting the emails, showing that, I am a human. I actually used to do this with cold emails that we did for a bit in the past, just saying, this is my name, even just calling out, yes, a real human wrote this email and the PS. Those can get people's attention, and keeping it just short. Don't try to make it perfect. It's often really apparent when an email has been templated or optimized, and people are not dumb, so don't try to get around it by scaling with templates and all this, especially too soon. One that is tried, true, and evergreen, in my opinion, has worked in the past and it works today without a doubt, is citing credible sources, credible authorities on a topic, and then reaching out to them either before to get the quote or after, because maybe you pulled the quote from somewhere else, sharing with them, hey, I wrote this thing. It's about a subject that obviously you're interested in. And they're much more likely to actually want to promote it to their audience because it promotes them. And just that's very tried and true. And it's very win-win because they get a link, they get exposure, higher visibility. It also promotes their brand and builds their brand by positioning them as a credible authority. Paid advertising is interesting if you can make it work for promoting content where you have some sort of a conversion rate linked to that. What I mean is I think this is something that if you can crack the code for it in your market with, your content, it can be really effective. So for example, if you have a blog article you notice gets a good conversion rate from visitor to actually email the subscriber, that might be something where you can pay a little bit because you're paying usually per impression with Facebook, and the ad rates are often less expensive that way. But you can actually build your email list quite effectively from that and get a lot of traffic at the same time. Plus, there's nothing gating that content, so people get value first and then they're coming onto your email list. It's a little more organic, and those leads could even be higher quality than if you just, offered them something as a lead magnet, because the lead magnet, the value came after the opt-in. In this case, the value came before. And although the conversion rate is lower, it's a little counterintuitive, but you can see how the quality of that lead might be even higher. So you want to think of every page on your website, in this case, especially blog pages, as a landing page. This is why, there are various subtle things on the sidebar, in the navigation, even in the byline. We have call to action for people to opt in to our email list, and even baked into, in a relevant, cool, non-invasive way, subtle calls to action within the content itself for people to subscribe to the newsletter. So if you can get a decent conversion rate, which would be 5%, maybe 10%, you're doing really well with a blog post like that. And you might want to consider sending paid traffic to it for that reason. Reddit, I think that has to be fleshed out more, because Reddit can send a ton of traffic, not necessarily the highest quality traffic, but we've seen it work really well for us in the past.
Really?
They're heavily moderated now though too, so that's one of the things there. Infographic is a great example of repurposing into another format. They are notoriously good at attracting links. Infographics are, virtual events. So for example, not even an ebook, but an actual book called Rework from 37 Signals, the creators of Basecamp, just notorious bootstrappers, great marketers, one of the top project management software web apps in the world. And they created this book called Rework, basically from blog posts that they had written in the past. And I think it's a New York Times, Amazon, whatever, top seller even today. They've done really well with that just by taking existing blog articles and putting them into something. The interesting thing about their content in particular, it's not tactical, it's more philosophical. I think maybe that is something for us to explore in the future. It's great branding, talk about what you believe, that's cool.
Yeah, everybody wants to hear that. Well, like what you said about what is the tactics of it, right? So anyone that we can find an actual useful tactic to put into it, then we can use it. But a lot, like you said, a lot of them kind of went into the content area, and if there's nothing really new that you can offer that people don't already know, then not much point in adding it, I guess.
I mean, some of what we're going to say is, tried and true, but we definitely want to push the envelope. What is new? How is it executed? Why does it work? Like with the win-win type of structure, you tell someone that, they know why it works because, okay, you want to promote what promotes you. So I see one here, tactic 33, smart pop-ups that are based on user behavior. It makes me think of another tactic, which could be you could promote your existing content within and your top most popular articles within your own blog. So if people will come to your website looking at one piece of content, you can further engage them and get them to spend a bit more time and receive a bit more value for their time by having, for example, a widget. There are many plugins out there in WordPress that says, okay, these are the top 10 blog posts, by traffic, and then people will click through and you're promoting to your existing traffic in that sense. So getting more page views on your existing content. All right, just to close it out, if you would like any help with repurposing your content and promoting it, AutoGrow can help you do that, can help you manage your social media channels, create that content in the first place, work with you from a strategic point of view. But in general, anything that you want to delegate related to digital marketing, AutoGrow can provide you an all-in-one team of pros through our easy-to-use web app. And we'd love to work with you. We'd love to help you to AutoGrow your business. And you can try us out for just $7. We have a $7 for 7-day trial right now. Sign up, delegate your first task, and we'll get it done for you with fast turnarounds. Plus, we include up to 16 skill sets depending on the package that you pick. Copywriting, content, web design, graphic design, development help, ads, and so much more. Check us out at autogrow.co. Thank you very much.